Hey, what is up, everyone? What's happening? Happy Friday. So this is a special live that I'm doing today because earlier I played in a golf event. So I couldn't do my normal live earlier in the day, but I thought I would still jump on here and say hello to you guys on a Friday night. So thank you for being here. If you're here, say hello in the comments here. I see we have a couple people on here already saying hi in the comments, but throw a comment, throw a question, and we're going to talk about really kind of some happenings that have been going on. I got a few things I definitely want to chat about, and we'll get started right now in just a second. But first, thank you guys for being here. I'll take questions, comments, whatever really you guys want to chat about. We have JG on. What's happening, my man? Thanks for joining me here on a Friday night. As they say, there's a lot of places you could be. So I appreciate you being here. I did say, I think in the description, grab some wine, and I didn't. So I picked up some food for the family. We just had dinner, and I didn't grab some wine. So next time. But if you have wine, drink it, or beer, whatever you want. So we also have Henrique from Dallas, Texas. Might be somewhere where I'm headed. Thanks for being on, Henrique. How you doing? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And then we had a comment earlier that I was going to put up from Jason. Jason said, does anyone still believe these stories they're telling you, like these jobs hold any value to you as public servants? California is the test pig for the new economy. The plan will pay regardless. Yeah, California is doing some crazy stuff. I definitely want to talk about some of that stuff. I saw that California is now requiring UC schools, and Cal State schools are requiring the vaccine. We're going to dive into that. We're also going to talk about, I talked about it on one of my videos recently, that CAITLYN Jenner was considering running for governor. It sounds like that is now official. CAITLYN Jenner will run for governor in California. So a lot of conservative policies going on there, actually. So, maybe not so bad. So we'll see. We'll talk about that. I'd love to hear what you think on that topic. And let's see here. That's just Henry. Okay. So that is the first thing I wanted to talk about, guys. And JG, here we go. So CAITLYN Jenner running for, I was going to pull up the article for you guys, but CAITLYN Jenner running for governor in California. Let's pull that up and let's see what it says. Here we go. CAITLYN Jenner announces run for governor. Let's do a little situation here. I'll show you guys the article. There it is. And interestingly, so CAITLYN Jenner, obviously formerly known as Bruce Jenner, is a Republican, and a lot of conservative policies and a lot of conservative things that CAITLYN Jenner stands for. Let's see what it says here. Jenner, 71-year-old Republican, said she filed paperwork to run for the office. Californians want better and need better from their politicians. That is for sure. Taking on entrenched Sacramento politicians and the special interests that fund them requires a fighter who isn't afraid to do what's right. I'm a proven winner and the only outsider who can put an end to Gavin Newsom's disastrous time as governor. Well, folks, I don't know. Sounds pretty good to me. What do you think? And we'll definitely take some questions. Thanks for posting these. We got Denise and Henrique asking great questions. So let's run through this article and then I'll take those questions. Jenner criticized Newsom's handling of the coronavirus pandemic, which has been unpopular with many in the state. Yeah, you think, to say the least. Small businesses have been devastated because of the over-restrictive lockdown. An entire generation have lost a year of education and have been prevented from going back to school. That is 100% true. My thoughts, I will tell you, JG, here's the question. What are your thoughts? I will tell you that I'm 100% for anyone that has common sense ideas and solutions to problems, that isn't someone who bows down to the progressive mob and isn't someone who just continuously panders to voters and to certain people without really addressing the problems and the challenges here, and someone who is in favor of lower taxes, lower regulation, and making California a business-friendly state. I mean, look, I got to tell you, there's so many people, me included, that are looking to leave or have already left California. I've done a bunch of videos about it because of the overregulation, the overtaxing, and all of these other things. Also, we got to talk about Joe Biden's proposal, capital gains tax proposal today too. So I will tell you, I don't care. Like, I don't care who it is. Look, if it's CAITLYN Jenner, but great policies, and I support those. Fine, all good. Butch Jones says if all of San Francisco votes, he's in. I'm assuming you're talking about CAITLYN there. And then Denise said, I would rather have her as my governor than Gavin. I mean, I would rather have, I think, anyone at this point rather than Gavin. Well, maybe there's a couple people I could think of that I wouldn't rather have. Like, anyone associated with Gavin Newsom, I don't want. But anyone that disagrees with Gavin, I'd rather have. Henry, great question. How will this affect, let's go away from the screen share, we don't really need that. So how will this affect the housing market in California? Great question. So the housing market in California is like on fire. I don't have any kind of fire sounds, but let's see. No, it won't be a buzzer. So the housing market is unbelievably crazy right now. And thank you guys for all of you who are joining me here on a Friday night, by the way. Just jumping on, we're talking about CAITLYN Jenner announcing run for California governor. We're going to be talking about all kinds of other things, taxes, capital gains tax. Got some stuff for you on some crazy things that they're doing in California as well. So anyhow, housing market has been absolutely insane. I think, and I will tell you my opinion, that if we get someone in office here that is business friendly, again, that will attract companies instead of forcing everyone to leave, that will attract people and help people to succeed here, and really help people, get educated and do stuff. I think that's a plus, because obviously the more people we have here, the higher the housing prices will be. It's insane how high they're getting even without all of that. It's like, despite all this madness from Gavin Newsom and his buddies, it's still crazy here. So, Henrique, I think the answer is that I think the housing market will continue to flourish in California. People are very attracted to the coasts. We also get a lot of foreign investment here in California. And for the foreign investors, that's a long-term play. I was actually just talking to someone who runs a syndicate out of China. He was telling me that, the Chinese investors that are buying property in California have a, 100-year time horizon on the market, not a 2 or a 5 or a 10-year, but 100-year. And so, I think the housing market will continue to do well. JG's got some great comments here. So, know nothing about CAITLYN nor California. I thought it was a dumb idea. But then I heard Steve Forbes said today that she could win if she gets the right people to work with her. Then it occurred to me that this may be the antidote for California, a transgender Republican only in California. I guess so, But I'll tell you what, I'll take the policies, the conservative policies. I mean, look, it's so funny, my mom, I won't sell my mom out. A friend said when they watch Gavin Newsom, they're like, oh, he's so handsome, but then he speaks and he's an idiot. And I said, yes, exactly. So, I don't care, like, guy, girl, what race, transgender, none of that stuff matters to me. What I look at is the policies, and I look at what they want to accomplish. And so if someone is into making California or bringing California back to where it needs to be, none of that other stuff matters to me. And it's so funny to me that we'll get on this topic a little bit. It's so funny. Rosemary said transgender people are cool. I don't know any, but I'm sure they are. They're people. Everyone's people. We're all part of the human race, man. Who cares? It's so funny to me that people always criticize conservatives as being exclusive, right? So they're always like, oh, conservatives are exclusive and all this stuff. And that's just so ironic to me, because the conservative people that I hang out with, that I know, are the most inclusive people. Like, we don't care. We don't care if you're black or white or Asian or whatever. It doesn't matter to us. If we like you as a person, if I like you as a person, I'm going to hang out with you as a person. I don't care. And what's ironic about that is that it's the left, the progressives that I know, that are actually very exclusive. It's like, oh, if you don't believe what we believe, then we don't want to hang out with you, or we don't want you at our school, or we don't want you at our business. So, this kind of stuff is very interesting to me when I actually, really look at it. And Rosemary did say, what a circus. And California is a circus. I'm going to give you guys some other piece of news about California that I find pretty interesting. I want to show you guys something. Check this out. I was able to actually get my phone to connect right here on the screen. And so what I want to show you, and Henrique said before I died, conservatives are cool, just ask Texas. Yes, conservatives are cool. Listen, I'm you know, if someone is cool, I don't care what political party, affiliation, race, none of that stuff matters. So let me show you guys. I was able to actually get my phone to come up here. So I put up a question earlier today on Instagram. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, please do. I am always posting on there. I show you guys behind the scenes. I show you guys what's going on with my family, my friends, all that kind of stuff. I actually forgot to post today while I was on the golf course. Had my phone in my bag, but I guess that's a good thing. So I posted on Instagram earlier today that the UC and Cal State systems, for those of you not familiar in California, that is the University of California and the California State Schools systems to require COVID-19 vaccinations for in-person fall classes. And I asked people for thoughts, and wow, did I get a lot of comments. I want to read some of these to you guys. I'll give you guys applause for if you made some comments on there. But check this out, guys. I want to show you guys the responses. So I think you can see these. So here's the response. Everyone should be vaccinated. Everyone shouldn't be forced to get vaccinated. It's complicated. I need to read that again. Everyone should be vaccinated. Everyone shouldn't be forced to get vaccinated. So I think this person, John, I think John is saying that everyone should just get vaccinated on their own. They shouldn't be forced, and it's complicated. I'm going to give you my thoughts in a second. What are your thoughts on this? I'd love to hear from you. Throw it in the chat. So what do you think? UC schools and basically all California colleges are going to require vaccination, public institutions, in order to attend in-person classes. Next comment, stupid, control, power, killing individuals slowly, online classes only. Nope, from Cassandra. Tab Kane said lame. Santa Barbara Home said knew it was coming. By the way, this is pretty cool that I can do this on the screen here. And Julie said, I went to a UC. Honestly, depending on what you're studying, a college degree doesn't mean as much as now. I agree. Absolutely dumb. People could get an allergic reaction to it, and it's still not approved. That is an interesting point. They actually said that, you know, it's just emergency approved right now, not full time. And so it's interesting to me that they are requiring that. A few days prior, maybe not the best idea to have 18-year-olds getting the shot. Our 45-year-old landscaper just had a heart attack. The docs told him it was because of the vaccine. Wow, no way, that's crazy. Lawsuit coming. No one should be forced to vaccinate to participate in college. We're talking about, if you just joined us, guys, we're talking about UC and California colleges requiring the vaccine in order to attend in-person class. Angelica said, lawsuit coming, no one should be forced to vaccinate. And by the way, she's a lawyer. So Nazi Germany, perfect idea. Ironic for a place they call the land of the free. Experimental drugs not FDA approved being forced on people. Yeah, F you. I love that. Good stuff. Really? Someone's excited about that. Okay. I got an emoji of, that's like a hand over the face emoji, like, oh my God, I guess. Okay, I'm guessing that you still have to wear a mask after taking the vaccine. Yeah, there's stupidity out there, I guess. And then complete BS from someone else. So I thought this was interesting. You know, I usually get like a lot of comments on these Instagram questions, but this was probably more than I was expecting, more than I've gotten. And so, you know, definitely curious kind of to hear what you think about this. Let me grab this off the screen now. And so JG says that it's lame and that he's laughing about the land of the free. Yeah, maybe that's over. So I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. So my thoughts are that every person should be able to make their own decision on whether they get vaccinated, all of these things, whether they wear a mask, their own decision. That's what America, to me, is all about. It's about freedom. It's about us allowing you to make your own decision. If you want to get the vaccine, get the vaccine. If you don't want to get the vaccine, don't get the vaccine. The fact that essentially, you know, if a state school is mandating that, that's like the state mandating it. And so for a state school to say, you know, you have to get the vaccine before you come to in-person classes, I think is ridiculous. And by the way, here's another thought for you. if the vaccine really works, I'm not saying it doesn't, but if the vaccine is effective, okay, and you decide to get the vaccine, what I don't understand is why do you care if someone else has it, right? Like if you have it, if you decided to get it, if you made that decision, good for you. It's all good. I'm not criticizing you. Then why does it matter if someone else gets it, right? Whether they get it or not has no impact on you whatsoever because you are immune in theory, right? So there's a lot of like stuff going on here. Like either people are afraid that the vaccine actually isn't effective, or that they just want to control everyone else. I think it's probably a little bit of both. But I will tell you, I don't like any of this kind of stuff. I think it's government overreach. I hope that, as Angelica said, that does create a lawsuit that is then resolved in favor of or against those types of policies. So as you could probably imagine, I'm against all of that kind of stuff, vaccine passports, vaccine requirements to fly, to do all of this, kind of stuff. And so it's just, to me, it's nonsense and it doesn't need to be there. We're getting some good comments. So Denise, thank you so much for jumping in. With all the dumb decisions that we have seen Gavin do, I trust CAITLYN more than I do this mediocre governor. We have that doesn't care about the people. Yes, for sure. And JG, 100% mediocre. I think Denise, I agree, is way too kind. Now, you did say dumb decisions and then you called it mediocre. I think you're trying to be nice. Because he is way less than mediocre. So lots of interesting stuff happening all over the place. Another thing I obviously heard in the last couple of days, and this will kind of segue us into talking a little bit about finances, is that Joe Biden it's been leaked that he wants to propose, I believe, a 43% capital gains tax. And so we can pull this up as well, and we can talk about the impact that this would have. So here's the article. Let's go ahead and pull this up on the screen. Here we go. Okay. Biden eyeing, oh, that's really big. Hold on a second. Biden eyeing tax rate as high in next economic package as high. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't read the whole thing. Let me minimize that for you so you guys can see it all. Okay, here we go. So Biden eyeing, I got to get this right so you guys can see it. There we go. There we go. Biden eyeing tax rate as high as 43.4% in the next economic package. People earning $1 million would pay 39.6% plus the Obamacare levy. Total tax rates for New Yorkers, Californians could top 50%. Woohoo! Happy that I live in California. Maybe not for long. President Joe Biden will propose, now we can, let's zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this. So President Joe Biden will propose almost doubling the capital gains tax rate for wealthy individuals to 39.6% to help pay for a raft of social spending that addresses longstanding inequality, according to people familiar with the proposal. For those earning $1 million or more, the new top rate, coupled with an existing surtax on investment income, means that federal tax rates for wealthy investors could be as high as 43.4%. The new marginal 39.6% rate would be an increase from the current base rate of 20%. A 3.8% tax on investment income that funds Obamacare would be kept in place, pushing the tax rate on returns on financial assets higher than rates on some wage and salary income. So let's talk about this. What do you guys think? Let's hear it in the comments here. What do you guys think about this height in the capital gains tax rate? And let me explain what this means first and foremost. So capital gains taxes, you guys, are taxes on assets that you sell. So for example, I have some stocks. I paid $1,000 for them. We'll do easy math. And they're now worth $2,000. I sell those. I have $1,000 of capital gains, right? Between the first and between the purchase price and the sales price. On that $1,000 of capital gains, I got to pay taxes. So right now, I believe that's 20%. So I would pay $200 of that $1,000 that I just made, right? Now, what Joe Biden wants to do is he wants to double that for people making over $1 million. And I'm going to talk about why. By the way, guys, you might be thinking, I don't make $1 million. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you why it matters. So he wants to double that. So let's say instead of you paying the government $20 on that, sorry, $200 on the $1,000 profit. I don't remember what numbers we used. Anyway, 20% to 40%, okay? So if you sold your stocks for $2,000, you had $1,000 capital gains, instead of paying $200 tax, you're paying a $400 tax plus all of the other surcharges. Okay, so what does that do? Let's talk about it. JG, great comment. Inequality is an excuse to bring in socialism. Yeah, I mean, they do all this stuff under the disguise of either inequality or infrastructure, whatever it is they want to call it, right? So here's the issue, guys. And if you guys watched the stock market the last couple of days, the crypto market, everything kind of pulled back and came down. The reason that happens is twofold. Number one, this increase in the tax rate, you know, if you think about when that would take effect, I mean, I highly doubt that would happen in 2021. They're not going to do it retroactively. I mean, almost. I'm not going to say never, but that shouldn't happen. So really, it's a 2022 tax. So if you're a wealthy investor, if you make a lot of money, you know, you're thinking, hey, 2021 is my year to take some gains because next year I'm going to have to pay double in tax what I paid this year. So investors start thinking about their investments differently. And so that's one of the reasons that you saw stock market sell-off and crypto. The other reason, guys, I think is just the uncertainty. So all of the financial markets really do not like uncertainty. Whenever there's uncertainty in the market, things typically either go down or kind of stay sideways. This tax, you know, to me is insanity, just like Henrique said, for sure. We'll see what happens. It's kind of too early to say exactly what is going to come of this and when. But you know, I can assure you that ooh, you guys see that bug or fly? I can assure you that the Biden administration is going to do everything they can to try to push through higher taxes, for sure. No doubt about it, right? That's kind of their play. That's what they want to do. And so look for higher taxes and all of that kind of stuff with the Biden administration. One other thing I wanted to talk about today, I posted this on my Facebook, much to my wife's chagrin. She doesn't like when I post this kind of stuff, but I want to show it to you guys anyway. So I don't know if you guys saw this article, but Los Angeles Magazine had an article about a local school, and the title is How LA's Brentwood School Became a Battleground in the Culture Wars. And the article is interesting. So I have school-age kids. I got 3 of them, and it's been an interesting year, to say the least, in terms of school curriculum and things going on at school and stuff like that. What this article is about is how this very high-end private school in Los Angeles, my kids don't go there, but I know people there, basically completely overhauled, you know, their curriculum. And I think they got kind of caught up in all of this, you know, woke stuff going on with schools and with curriculums and things changing. And so now there's this big war going on essentially at the schools, because a lot of the parents are now up in arms, and so the school can't make anyone happy is ultimately what the article comes down to. But what I wanted to talk about here is just the fact that, you know, I think that this is all such nonsense. There's definitely issues, right? We definitely, as a society, we have issues, we have challenges, there's things we got to get through. But what people are now doing at schools, at companies, cancel culture, all of this kind of stuff, it lacks common sense. And what it does is it actually creates division. So in this article, guys, you're not going to believe this, but it actually talks about how at the school they started having separate meetings for the white parents, separate meetings for the black parents, separate meetings for the Asian parents. So instead of trying to unify everyone, what they're now doing is they're creating division. They're creating all the stuff that they say they're trying to get rid of. Henrique says, woke is such a joke, and I completely agree. So, I wanted to bring up this article for a couple reasons. Number one, I wanted to say, like, if you're a parent and you have kids in school, make sure that you are keeping an eye on their curriculum. I think that's extremely important. Now, I will tell you, I never used to do that. Like, I trusted the school, and I said, hey, I'm sending my kids to you, and I'm paying you. In my case, my kids go to a private school, and because the schools in LA suck. And so I said, like, I trust you guys to give them the right stuff. But then that all changed this year because I started seeing all of this stuff, all of this stuff like come into the curriculum that I was not interested in and that I didn't want, that I thought was inappropriate. Not that I wasn't interested in, I should rephrase, that I thought was extremely inappropriate. And so I started looking at all the stuff that the school was doing and the curriculum and all these things. And I noticed like it's really changing and they're putting stuff in that I think is completely inappropriate for school. If you want your kids to go to a school that's going to teach them how to be, social activists and indoctrinate them into all of this stuff, that's fine. Send them to that school. But that's not what I was doing. I'm sending my kids to a school to learn, math, English, subjects, play sports, interact with other kids. And I don't want all this stuff in the school, especially when I'm paying for it. And so just be careful. Make sure you guys are really vigilant about checking out your kids' curriculum and then making appropriate decisions. So, we actually decided to move our kids because I don't want to be somewhere where they're doing all of this kind of nonsense, this woke stuff. So just be careful with that. I wanted to bring that up to you guys if you have school-age kids. And also just because I think we need to get all this political and all this other stuff out of school. It doesn't belong there. Whichever side, I don't care. It doesn't belong there, whether you're right or left or middle, whatever. And unfortunately, the college institutions, a lot of them have obviously become such liberal centers for indoctrination of all this stuff. And now it's feeding down into, starting in kindergarten. And it's just insanity. So just be careful with that, with your kids and with yourselves. And it's definitely something to watch out for. So, guys, my plan today was just to jump on, take any questions that you might have a chat for about a half an hour. It is Friday night. I know everyone's got a bunch of stuff to do, but I want to thank you for jumping on. I got lots of really cool content planned for you here in the coming weeks on the YouTube channel. So thank you so much for subscribing and being a part of the community here. If there's something you want me to cover on the channel, let me know on the community page or shoot me a note or you can post it here. And I want to thank all of you guys. I'd stay on longer, but I don't have any beer. I don't have any wine. So, Henrique, thanks so much for being on, man. I really appreciate it. Great presentation. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone have a fantastic Friday night and a great weekend. I got a couple of videos coming out this weekend, so look for those. And then I'll see you guys on more lives next week. Thanks for being on, guys. I'll see you soon. Thanks, JG. I saw that right at the end. Thanks for being here.